All right, John. It's been another quarter. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Let's talk about what happened within Elite in Q4 of 2024, and then we'll eventually get to previewing what's coming up this year. Um, what are some of the big things that happened in last quarter?
Okay, so there's a few things that we released in Q4 that are in customers' hands now, and we're getting some really great feedback on them. One of them is, and we heard this really at our IC23, so go back a year at our international conference. We had a lot of feedback about enhancing our email templates. So a lot of companies really wanted to get their branding more into the emails that they send their customers. And the tool we had was pretty plain, pretty straightforward email template. So what we released is a rich text editor that allows you to do bolding and highlighting. It switches everything over to an XHTML version, which then allows you to do all sorts of cool design stuff as you see fit, and really get your branding in front of your customers.
Good. That's what we like to do over in the marketing team. Was you know other people that do all the fancy stuff. They like to make it look good, whereas I just
Yeah,
write text.
Yeah, so it gives our customers a great opportunity to really get their branding in front of their customers, just how they want it to be. And also be able to like highlight and bold certain things to help draw attention to delivery dates and certain things like that they want to make sure the customer is acknowledging.
For sure.
Um, the other thing we did that is also related to consumer facing communications is we built out a new integration with Twilio to support true SMS text messaging. So previously, with Elite and Expert, when somebody selected SMS text as a way to send a notification, and I'm talking about automated notifications. So, say you want to send a notification when a reservation gets sent out to a consumer or someone internally as well. We have automated notifications throughout the system in all sorts of different places, and you can always choose SMS text in most cases. We were using this old technology that required you to understand who the telephone company provider was to execute that text message, which obviously, especially for consumers, is not really a realistic option then. And even for your internal people, knowing their telco, people change all the time. So now with this Twilio integration, when you put in those authentication credentials into Elite for your Twilio account and you choose SMS text as your notification message, it sends it with a true SMS message, text message. You don't need to know the telephone company. And so you can send your consumers text messages through the process, or your employees text messages through different notifications and system notifications and things like that. So for the employees, you would set them their default notification up as SMS, and then it'll just work. So it's a really cool feature. You do have to go out and get a Twilio account, but then you own that number, you control that number, and you don't have to worry about somebody reporting spam on it and get it shut down. So you would control and own it. So
Nice. Yeah, I can see that avoiding many awkward conversations. Why do you want to know my telephone provider? I don't think you need to know that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was old technology, and so now we're getting on to the new technology, and we have some other things planned for SMS and texting. Not necessarily two-way texting with consumers, but some other ways to leverage that texting functionality. So you can look for more in 2025 around that. And then the other thing we did, which was a you innovate idea, which is to create a new product type for percentage items. So we've always had a percentage item that you can add to contracts that affects the whole contract. We have the damage waiver feature as well, and you can control those by item. But it just wasn't enough. We had especially customers in Canada that had to utilize those existing fields for taxes. And then we have other people that use them for other different purposes, and they just ran out. Two was not enough. And so now you can have honestly unlimited numbers of percentage items. So it's a new item type that you create in file maintenance, and you set the sell price to a percentage. So you want to charge a 5% rush fee for delivery. Somebody calls on a Thursday for a Saturday delivery. You can charge them a rush fee by just simply adding this one item, and then it'll charge that percentage in addition to all the rental items on there. So if you had $1,000 of the rental fee, you'd get another $100 in rush charges that you can add just by adding that one single item. There's two different percentage item types. One is for all rental items on a contract. One is for all sales items on a contract. And then you can also set certain items to not be applied to that percentage. So you can say, well, this one is exempt. These certain items are exempt from these fees. But it's just a super way to really quickly add an extra fee to your contracts and make more money.
Yeah, there's no shortage of potential taxes and fees to add into really any transaction. I'm not sure that you would want to advertise the unlimited not number of taxes and fees that you're going to put on anything, but it's good to know
This
that
is
it's
true.
there.
Although, yeah, yep.
All right. What else is going on, or what else has gone on for the past like few months? Just let's not get too deep into anything, but like just the
Yeah,
quick
sure.
hits.
All sorts. So as everyone knows, we have lots of integrations. So we've made some updates to our QuickBooks and Xero uh, accounting integrations, just some small enhancements for quality of life for people using those two features. The big thing we really did around our integrations is our Vertex integration. So Vertex is an external tax service that we use that's integrated with Elite, and it is a monster when it comes to being in control of your taxes. So if you're a multi-state company or you're in a state that has a lot of confusing, ever-changing taxes, which is maybe every state, you can sign up with Vertex. They will handle all of your taxes. Elite integrates with them. And we just did a big upgrade to the Vertex, which allows you to use their most powerful products in a way that allows you to send very granular information to them to make sure that your taxes on all of your contracts are getting calculated to the law, and you know you can survive any oversight by the government. And it's just a great feature, and Vertex has been a good partner. So that's been a big deal.
Good. We like to encourage our customers and users to abide by the laws and not. We like to
Well, yeah,
help you
when you
make
get
that happen.
audited and you need to come, bring the receipts, it's really important to have the right receipts and get through that smoothly and easily. And a external tax service really helps with that. So
Awesome.
another thing we did, it's a Univate idea, shortly after IC24, was getting two reports out that people have been wanting for some time, just for around analysis of your workflows. So one is around dispatch analysis, around weekly delivery breakdowns by store, driver, route, uh, you know, including revenue and cost details, and another similar one to your fulfillment analysis. Again, weekly item processing insights, tracking time, all of those things, all of that activity, allowing you to put some analysis against it and understand the kind of revenues those workflows are affecting and the costs associated to it. So those are a couple really good ones.
All right. Always
Or,
helping people make smarter decisions and improve their efficiency.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And then of course we got our PR1 mobile that we've been doing a lot of work on.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Um,
we gotta talk some mobile stuff. I know there's
yeah,
so many extra things that go into Elite.
there's always a lot of mobile stuff. As many people know, this last year we released Ready Tags. So Ready Tags is out in the wild now. Now this time of year is a great time you're thinking about if you're thinking about digital Ready Tags and you're thinking about PR1. This is the time of year to institute like new workflows and new processes into your company when it's slow and it's wintertime. So if you're thinking about it, now's a great time. Ready Tag has been very well received by a lot of companies. Many of them have just ditched Ready Tags altogether and are using a digital version. So that's really cool. And one thing we did is we did some updates to that based on feedback from our initial beta group that makes them more real time. So things get updated right away. So if you have multiple technicians or yard guys servicing things at one time. The live updates between devices happens lickety split now. So that's added a lot of function and performance to that process. Another thing we released this last year was our first advanced Pure One license, which is really for technicians to create and manage work orders, both internal work orders and consumer work orders. And so, a mechanic now doesn't have to go find his laptop. He could be out in the field. He can create a work order. He can update, the comments, the cause and correction areas of those comments. You can add parts, remove parts, and do things like that. Update contract operation from their phone. So there's a lot of great functionality for technicians in that new advanced PO and license for work orders. A lot of value there. We made some updates to our inventory count updates, so made them more real time so that quantities get updated right away. And so as soon as you complete a count, your count, what we call an elite, our count diff and count date, get updated right away so that somebody can action on that and finalize the count. So that's really cool. We did some small upgrades to setting the fuel level and searching contracts by postcode and things like that, zip code. There's always a lot of improvements going on in PR1. Another big one I think sometimes gets overlooked, which we continued to work on in Q4 of 2025, is just the image upload process. Y'all upload thousands and tens of thousands of images, hundreds of thousands of images every day. And we've really refined that process to ensure that all of your images get uploaded, none of them get lost, and it happens real fast and it's real performance. So a lot of improvements. So if you've tried Pure One in the past, say a year ago, and you were frustrated with some image upload issues, come try it again because it's changed night and day from what it was before.
Yeah, and when we say try it again, visit us at the area show, booth 2221.
Yep.
Uh,
On down.
before I do the whole ARA pitch, let's talk about the last little section, e-commerce. I know that like there's a whole little group, but what's specific to e-commerce for Elite over the last quarter?
Yeah, so e-commerce for Elite has a lot going on. We released in 2024, we released something called Quick Link, which is really just an evolution of sending a PDF of a contract. Now we send a link that takes the consumer to a landing page where they can make a payment, they can sign the contract, they can do both, one or both, and allows them to see the details of the contract. And that also allows that consumer to log in to see contract history for them and things like that. So there were some details around Quick Link that our users had a voice about, and so we've made some improvements on Quick Link. So if you tried Quick Link before and weren't quite too sure about it, try it again, check it out. Quick Link is a great feature. It allows you to get paid, contract signed and paid in just a more modern way for your consumers. We updated, related to that, we updated our payment acknowledgement. And so when a payment is made, you'll get a little pop-up confirming your payment. You can also get a notification that your payment was made. We also added some functionality to look at your payment history in the consumer portal. And then beyond that are what we call our unified storefront. And so this is a storefront for your consumers. It's a website that is fully integrated with Elite through the API. We are coming out with the beta version of that right now. Shortly, we'll be going into multi-store and then into event. And so we have a lot of things happening on the storefront slash website product features that the e-com team is working on.
Awesome. Well, that was already kind of a segue into the next thing. Like, what can people look forward to early in 2024? I don't want to necessarily say we're promising it by the area show, but like anytime within that Q1 ish area.
Yeah. Nothing big coming out right before the show. I mean, other than all the stuff we've done in 2024, like a ton of stuff, right? So we are bringing a lot of cool things to the show. some things that are just going to come like shortly after the show. One of them is Rouse rates. So we're going to have the ability, if you're a subscriber to Rouse, that you'll be able to see Rouse rates within the Elite application. So that's coming down the pipe. Um, we've got pre-check, which is a POR mobile feature. And so when you think about the lifetime cycle of a piece of equipment, when it gets reserved and you want to get it prepped for tomorrow, a lot of companies, that's a QA process for them, a quality assurance process for them, where they want to go out and stage that item, make sure that the right attachments are on it, that the battery's charged, things like that. Maybe stage it for the driver to get loaded. And so we have a digital version of a pre-check on POR1 that kind of completes the life cycle. So now we've got you get an item reserved, it gets pre-checked. It goes out on rent, it gets checked out where it gets images and condition. It goes out on rent, it's on rent, it gets checked in, it gets images, condition statements, and things like that. Then it lands in the yard. It goes through a ready tag process, goes back online, and the whole process starts over again. So we have that whole circle of the life cycle of a piece of equipment wrapped up. The big PR1 project that we're working on, that'll be more late Q1, early Q2 but I do want to shout this out because it is a big deal, is driver fulfillment for event companies. And so this is for the event driver, the event companies, for their drivers to be able to do fulfillment out in the field. Along with that, we're doing a couple other things around supporting L tickets in PR1 and supporting contract attachments in PR1. So between contract attachments, L tickets, and driver fulfillment, that's like the trifecta for the event driver that will just give that driver a whole lot of value.
Awesome. So lots and lots of features coming out soon. Lots and lots of features. It sounds like came out in Q4,
Oh,
and
and there was one more. Sorry,
go for it.
just because it's really cool, is a Samsara integration. And so we've had a TSO integration for a very long time, and now we're going to have a Samsara integration. It's going to be part of our Elite Advanced package. So if you are an Elite, you're using Samsara, you want to go to Advanced and get the Samsara integration, and it'll work very similar to the TSO where it's integrated with Samsara. You'll get arrival and departure times based on geofences that you set up in Samsara. So it'll be a really cool feature too.
Awesome. So just more options for people using Elite, and hey, we'll meet you where you are instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yep.
Are you going to be at the ARA show?
I am going to be at the ARA show.
All right.
I will be there. I'd love for people to come by. I've got a few things for future work, things around sales rep quotes, and around the driver fulfillment that I'd love to put some visuals in front of some people and get your feedback so we can make sure we build it right. So if you're at the show, come by and see me and I'll get your feedback.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll be around the booth as well, but I won't have that much that's interesting to show you. So you can still stop by and say hi. We'll both be there, booth 2221 at the area show in Las Vegas this year. Thanks for joining me again today, John.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.